So, the topic for today is truth. Truth and belief. You see, this is very misused in today's world because, one, we look at belief as the truth, and it never occurs to us that there's a difference. You see, belief itself, in the word belief, there's the word lie. Truth is not something that needs our permission or needs our acceptance or authority. Truth is an authority by itself. You see, with belief, we can choose whether to accept or reject. With truth, you can do that, but it by itself is its own authority where it doesn't need any acceptance or rejection. It is as it is and will always be. You see, the truth is something that is unchanging, that is permanent. If we had to look at an example of something that is the truth, you see, in today's society, if I take this pen, right, and I place this pen on a table, this pen that's on the table, if someone had to ask me where is this pen, I would say that this pen is on the table. That is the truth. But if we have to take a time period of 10,000 years from now, this pen most probably wouldn't be on this table. This table probably wouldn't exist. So what has actually happened where there has been a change, a consequence of events that have occurred. So the location of the pen is probably non-existent at that point in terms of its form, but that is not the truth anymore. So it was the truth at that time, but not the truth anymore. It's because it's not permanent. You see, truth is something that is unchanging, that is permanent, that is always and was before. When one searches for truth on a spiritual path, one is to constantly doubt everything. When I mean one has to constantly doubt everything, one has to even constantly doubt everything that one has even gathered about what they know or what they are. You see, to constantly test something again and again and again and again, continuously test, and if you get the same result, then it's the truth. But on the spiritual path, the truth is not something that you see, it's very difficult to put into words because on the level of the mind, it cannot be conveyed. You see, this has always been the problem. Mystics of the past, sages, saints, they've always tried to express truth in a form of a poem, in a form of some artistic expression, because there is no words to explain that which cannot be defined. You see, you can explain something that's defined. You can explain something that you witness or you observe through your senses, but you cannot explain something that is beyond these senses, beyond comprehension of the physical limited self, what we call as the egoic self. See, we can experience certain things in life which we can explain to others. We can maybe tell a story. We can read a book. But when you look at scripture is designed towards pointing you towards that. You see, the scriptures that are used can point us in a direction that where as a consequence or a byproduct may lead us to discovering the truth. You see, this truth cannot be given to you. It has to be discovered by one searching for it, endlessly searching for it. And that is the problem, because the search for truth is always externalized. The search for that which is permanent is sought after in the direction that is sort of a futile, pursuit. This futile pursuit of action, you see, it's not really futile in its sense, because sometimes it is needed for one to walk that path, to then realize. You see, I always come back to the example of Gautama, the Buddha. When Gautama kept endlessly searching for truth outside of himself, continuously pursuing something. And this pursuit, in all efforts becoming vain, then he decides to sit down, and then truth is realized. You see the paradox. You see, spirituality is this paradox. If you have an experience doing some form of meditation, if you sit and doing that and you repeat the same exact meditation again, there's a higher chance for you to not experience anything, because now the mind has become fixated on an objective of a goal, something to achieve, something to have, something to hold. And because this always exists within an individual, whatever action that the individual takes will always be futile. It's only when one stops the search, one realizes the pointlessness, then that which is permanent, then that which is timeless, or whatever you want to call it, is revealed. You see, I can go on and on talking about this, but it doesn't make a difference, because this is just all empty words. They mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. To you, it may make some sense, but in actual fact, it makes no sense, because what I am saying, you see, is just words for your mind. It's just food for the mind to understand. The mind cannot understand, because this is not a doing. You see, I cannot give you something that you already have. But it's up to you to realize that what I am saying is also not completely futile, because it can have some value. But to come to that understanding of what I am saying, one has to trek the path. One has to be disciplined on the path. One has to walk that journey. You see, belief is not something that stands very well. You see, belief can be used to motivate us. When you speak about God, you see, whether you believe in it or you disbelieve in it, you are in the same boat. Because accepting something or rejecting something is still the same. It's still the same quality. One you choose, one you don't choose. It still doesn't get you closer to truth. So, you see, there's nothing more that I can say. You see, there's this person by the name of Adi Shankaracharya, who has walked on the spiritual path many 100 years ago. And he composed something called the Nirvana Shatakam mantra. And in this Nirvana Shatakam mantra, he dived into it to such an extent where the perfection that he crafted in this poem can call it a poem, you can call it a mantra, it doesn't matter. The perfection that he crafted into this, what he actually put into it, and in the order of which he put into it, is truly a remarkable gift to humanity. It's something so powerful. But through one's inner experience, through one's inner journey, they tend to, if you look back at that, it does fit in into the framework structure of how to get to truth. See, it's not about a God or not, or no God. You see, whether you believe in a God or don't believe in a God, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You see? To see what I'm saying is something else. To understand what I'm saying is completely another topic. And this is the paradox. To find God, you have to reject it. To find what you're calling as the creator, you have to stop searching for it.